Oh my goodness. Once again, we find ourselves here on Laconia. I'm going to suggest this. Don't open an episode, particularly of a final season, with characters that we haven't bonded with, that we haven't been introduced to. So anyway, we're following this little alien bird killer to her dwelling, and on the way she gets honked at by some Laconian Appalachian who yells at her to get out of the road. And they've only been here for 6 months, and what is this, some kind of a bustling backwoods? That guy doesn't know who she is. How many settlers are on this planet? She takes this little bird that she fed her protein bar to, and it's dying, and she begs her parents to save the little alien, and they tell her they can't do squat. Then she's going to head out and do more stupid things, and once again she's confronted by this quote dog-like creature that she conveniently thinks is her friend. And I swear, against all hope, my inner Stephen King is wishing and hoping that she gets eaten, but that doesn't happen. But it doesn't really matter because this doesn't have jack shit to do with our episode, so moving on. This scene here opens on a massive UNN supply ship that is resupplying the absolutely tiny in comparison Rocinante. As they're getting ready to leave, an unexpected UN mission specialist is due to board the Rocinante. We've got the mission specialist, of course, is Bobbie Draper. She's toting with her Martian Marine Corps Goliath Mark III suit. We open on Ceres Station. He's in the brig exactly where he belongs. His father steps into view. So I expect him to space his son. Not really, but I wish that would happen. His dad, I don't think, would tolerate others making him look bad, not even his son. So Bobbie's aboard. She's revealing her plan. Man, I love these two badass characters together, Bobbie and Amos. You put them in the same room, and you're going to get something good. Draper says this type of ship wouldn't have a crew of more than 4. I can take them out and make quick work of them. And then we get a shot of Naomi. And you can tell that's not leaving a good taste in her mouth. Martian in her super suit gonna go make paste of people that she probably would have called friends. This is one happy crew, and that yanks Amos right around. Speaking of crew, ship's got a new mechanic's apprentice. Look at Holden. His head sags, his eyes close, and he's like, Amos. Amos, in this very blunt matter of fact, this is the way it is, says, Bobbie Draper, Clarissa Mao. This is good writing. This is good stuff. Okay, yeah, it's time to get rid of Michio. Bye-bye, Miss Michio Pie. Your time on the Tynan has run dry. Your shaky hands nearly cost everyone their lives. Anyway, but, I make light of it because she doesn't mean anything to me, but I don't want to make light to the fans out there who've read the books and maybe, have a soft spot for Michio. I only know her for about 30 seconds of storytelling. Drummer's like, if they try to move past us, kill them all. She does not want people going in and having a look around the Tynan and seeing how beat up they are. And here we meet Liang Walker of the Golden Bough. I tell you, Marco Inaros doesn't like me. I intimidate him sexually. Isn't that great? That's so good. During the conversation between Drummer and Liang Walker, we learned that his group of belchers, the Golden Bough, they are not loved by Marco because some of them didn't bend the knee. And we learned that Marco has been shifting supplies from stations like Ceres to Supply Depot. And you can see light bulbs going off in Drummer's mind. And I'm thinking, she's thinking, ooh, we can raid those things for the supplies we need. But then she does something curious. She says, this might be a good time for a tour after all. I'm thinking, I don't get that. She started off by not wanting this guy to know how weakened her crew and ship were, but now she's inviting that Walker guy in, and I don't fully get that. Maybe she plans to seduce the pirate in him. Let's raid together by showing her hand. Maybe she gains his trust. It feels like a risky move, but she's a savvy leader. She's made that decision, and I guess I'm kind of like one of her crew. I trust it. And I think that this, again, is great storytelling. Here we've been given a tiny mystery. Why is she allowing him on her ship? What will she offer him? Will she club him over the head? Will she work with him? What's coming? I don't know what's coming. But we're going to get those answers, and it's those little tiny mysteries that are plugged in all throughout. And a lot of the stories that people love are often seeded with these little mysteries at regular points. Sometimes nearly every other paragraph. And I'm thinking, Dan Brown, I'm thinking J.K. Rowling, I'm thinking R.L. Stine, etc. What is Man Bun Marco looking for? And up walks Rosenfeld. Rosenfeld basically says what needs saying. She speaks to Marco in a way that the other peoples don't. I really like how this scene ends, where Marco is saying, everyone around here is afraid of me. And she gets that look on her face, and she's like, so you're welcome. Such a fine moment. I love it. She's a badass woman, guts and brave and confident in her own strength, knowledge, and assessment of things. And she's going to tell it like it is. And she's not going to pussyfoot around for anybody. And doesn't that make her, those are nice characteristics. So even though she's a bit witchy, I'm warming to her. Yep, I called it. Drummer appeals to the pirate in this guy. And you know what? I love this whole exchange between these two. I think it's absolutely beautiful writing and great storytelling. There has to be a dance between Drummer's desire to keep her crew protected and her need to become more vulnerable than she would like by trusting this guy enough to share dangerous information and concoct a dangerous plan. The writers are tasked with having to respect this dynamic and write it in such a way that we as an audience can watch Drummer obtaining the information that she needs to make the decision that she has to make. And so there's that dance going on between, is she getting the information she needs? And is she trusting that? And then the writers and the director have to portray that to us, to the audience, in an organic, satisfactory way. And I think all of that fires on every cylinder possible, and it's really working. And it comes together exquisitely. The writing, the storytelling, the lighting, the scenery, the sound, the music, every creative aspect comes together, and it makes a scene that utterly works. I'm slightly fearful for Drummer. I'm not 100% sure that we can trust this guy. But you know what? Our back is against the wall. We have to make a strategic decision, and this is what we're doing. And I'm not sure if it's going to turn out right. So there's tension inside of me as I watch. And this is what we love about storytelling. It's fantastic. So tip my hat to the writers, directors, and everybody on this scene. Now we go to a grieving Philip, who is sad after having murdered his best friend. I have no sympathy for you at all. Yeah, I'll tell you what my worst fear is, that they are building the story up so that there's some kind of a grand reunion between he and Naomi. And I don't want that at all. Ooh. Look at the impressive sensor array on this ship. I'm not understanding this plan. We're going to sneak up on a ship. What, they don't have sensors that point backwards? Here we see, we get several scenes of everybody on the Rocinante getting all suited up. Naomi has a quick look at her Martian armor, and we know right where her headspace is at, which makes her feel aligned with this murderous task. And she's working with Peaches, who is horned in on her wonderful relationship with Amos. The conflict within her it's unrelenting. And then we also see Amos and Draper are paired up. Leads to a great exchange. Amos, how do I get one of those suits? Draper, you'd only hurt yourself, Pee-wee. Isn't that awesome? Then we see the pod bay doors open, Hal. The Roci's doors open. The Roci gets detected. The Azure Dragon fires up its drive, speeds off. Holden yells, everybody brace. Then he punches it, and we see our people flattened against the acceleration, except Bobbie, who's in her super suit. Holden indicates he's going to fire a torpedo, and Bobbie's like, that is not what we're doing. The ships are changing directions super fast, and the G-forces are super intense. The ships pull alongside each other, and there's this protracted moment. The Azure Dragon doesn't shift anymore. It waits for the Roci to disgorge her little human fleas, and they can leap from one ship to the other. And I kept thinking, what if they just turn? Our people are screwed. So what I would have liked to have seen is just, and it only takes 2 seconds to do, is just show a little poof of something happening on the Azure Dragon. Have Holden say something like, they lost an attitude thruster, I'm coming alongside. And then we understand that she lost a little bit of her maneuverability, and we can more easily buy that the Azure Dragon isn't going to make another swift maneuver that screws up the whole plan. Bobbie here makes a high-stakes leap into the void, and we hear impact noises. Draper succeeds in making her jump. Amos heads over to blow the airlock. Draper is calling on Naomi, and Naomi says she's on the way. I took this shot, and I was struck again by how beautiful this actress is. The character here is having a real moment. This is the emotional crisis that has been building, because we need to remember something here. Amos and Peaches are from Earth, I believe, and Bobbie has her suit, and these people are way more prepared to handle gravitational load, G-forces. And Naomi is a belter. She quite literally is not physically built for this stuff. So all of that fast G-force movement is going to physically affect her more than anybody else. So Peaches comes in, grabs Naomi's cargo, and leaps across to the other ship. Draper's like, what happened to Naomi? And Peaches says she had a technical malfunction. The story, has been needing to find a way to integrate Peaches more fully into the crew. And obviously there needs to be a moment where she can step up. As a writer, we don't have to be extraordinarily clever and seduce people with our cleverness. Just give us super satisfying story beats like this. Like, I am feeling awesome that Peaches is stepping up for Naomi. We've got Naomi and Peaches. They're being forced to work together via the comms to disable the ship. The Dragon's crew creep out, and they're going to confront our vulnerable heroes. They open up on Bobbie. That's going to be a big mistake. And Bobbie's got this cool kick-ass heads-up display. And do you love that? The Draper suit is freaking awesome. And then suddenly there's a third bad guy behind Bobbie that she doesn't see, but Peaches does, and there's nothing left to do. Peaches crunches down on that inner capsule thing, releases her inner freak, and then she destroys the bad guy, and she saves Bobbie's life in the process. That it feels like it nearly completes the thing, right? She picked up the slack for Naomi. She leapt across. She covered for Naomi, and then she just saved Draper's life and risked her own because, she moves at super speed, right? How easy would it maybe have been for her to just accelerate right off that ship and just keep right on going at super speed? She could have been lost to humanity, and she risked it all to save Bobbie's life. Here we've got Amos and Holden. They breach the ship. They kill the last person. There were 4, so 3 were outside, 1 on the inside. Draper, are you inside? And Amos, his first concern, Peaches. Bobbie, how is Peaches? And Draper responds that she's fine, and then, says she really saved my ass out there. And Amos is like, yeah, she did good. And I love this. It's so utterly satisfying. So very satisfying. Good writers, thank you for bringing these awesome feels. I mean, really, this is, why we tune in to great storytelling. Thank you so much for working your ass off to bring this whole thing together. Holden's like, holy shit, Naomi, what is it? This is hilarious. Exactly as Naomi is doing this, what is it? I'm doing the same thing. And I was suddenly reminded of, in Pulp Fiction, when they're in the diner scene and Tim Roth's character, he's just peered into Samuel L. Jackson's briefcase, and his gun-toting girlfriend, Honey Bunny, is like, what is it? God damn it, what is it? She's all super excited. That's how I just was. Anyway, we end this scene by showing all of this heroic activity has been worth the effort. We see the Azure Dragon and the Rocinante hooked together. Wow, that ship's bigger than I thought. Inside Rocinante, Amos and Peaches, they're having a friendly chat. Amos is telling her to take the win for saving Draper's life. And Holden comes in, and he says, can we talk? And he's clearly indicating he wants to talk with Peaches alone. And Amos is like, sure, go ahead. And there isn't, he gives a slightly helpful nod, like, yeah, continue on. But he's not giving the slightest indication that he's going anywhere. And I love the way the directors have put this scene together. They've captured the facial expressions of each character one by one. First Holden, who's expectant. And then Amos is like, I'm not budging. Then we go back to Holden and show he's still kind of expecting. Then we show Peach's face, which is like, maybe you should go kind of look at it when she's looking at Amos. And then we see all three where we see Holden, his demeanor changes. It's kind of like a sigh again. And he lets go of his expectation. That's great directing right there. They told a miniature story all in 5 seconds. And I love it. Fantastic work. Holden begins by saying, hey, this is partly my fault. And the only reason I let you stay aboard was as a favor to Amos. And that's how I've been thinking of you as an obligation. And then Peaches is like, I understand. And then Holden is like, I don't think you do. You know, I know you were trying to help, but we had a plan. And when you change that plan without going through the chain of command, you put us all at risk. Holden was very present to the situation when Naomi couldn't make the jump. He knows Peaches stepped up in a necessary moment. Bobbie was yelling for Naomi. Time was critical. Peaches stepped up, and I loved her for doing that. But now she's being told she changed the plan? This is a writing problem right here. Holden continues, I'm the captain of the ship, and as long as you're part of the crew, you do what I say when I say it. If you see a problem, talk to me first. Everyone knows what's going on. No more deciding for yourself what the new plan is. That bugs me. I simply think that the writers should have written a different and better speech for Holden that reflects the facts of the situation that I just saw play out. Because his speech, it doesn't really match what I saw, like at all, not even a little bit. She didn't change some grand plan. She stepped up at every moment along the way. She's a freaking hero. So yeah, his speech didn't match. If you think differently, leave a comment below. Tell me what I missed, why that makes sense, why his little speech there makes sense. And here we have Marco being informed of the Azure Dragon's capture, a fantastically stunning blow to him. Oh, this is good. He ends by saying, let them come. Ooh, man, I got tingles on my arms just when he said that. Oh my God, that's so great. Because, it's like Alex saying, here comes the juice, buckle up. Yeah, I can't wait for the next episode now. That's the way to end an episode. What the heck here comes the juice.